Good morning, children. In the last class, we completed that just fundamental theorem of arithmetic theorem concept. Today we are going to discuss about the factors and multiples concept. In the last class, we have completed the 24 divided by 5, but which is not divisible by 5, and something remainder we got it. So what we are going to take that 5 is not a what we call that one factor, or which is not divisor. So 24 divided by 5 means we are getting remainder. So therefore 5 is not a divisor of 24. So what we are going to conclude that the number which is divisible by the given divisor, then we can call it as a factor. So we can say that, let us suppose we are going to take another one, 36 divided by 4. So we can say that 4 9 is 36. 0 is remainder. What we are going to conclude that 4 is divisor of 9. So in the same way, we are going to conclude that 4 is a factor of, this is not 9, 36. 4 is a factor of 36. And like that, we are going to say that 2 is a factor of 10. So the number which should be perfectly divisible by the divisor, then it is called a divisor, or you can say that a factor. And what 4 is a factor of 36, but we are going to say in another way, 36 is multiple of 4. So 36 is not only multiple of 4, it may be multiple of another numbers also. So generally we have idea about that one is factor and multiple. Factor means it must divide the given number in a perfect manner. That means remainder is 0, which is nothing but a divisor, exactly divisor. So here 2 is a factor of 10. That means 2 must exactly divides 10. So we are going to say that 36 is a multiple of 4. And here we can say that 10 is multiple of 10, like that. So simply, this is a simple concept. What is the meaning of a factor and multiple? You should understand clearly. Easy manner is, whenever we are going to take the tables, in general you are going to listen the by hearting and writing the tables, that is nothing but multiples. So whatever the numbers which are divides exactly, that numbers are called factors or divisors. So children, you should say that first you conclude that 5 is a not divisor of 24. Why we are not going to take this 5 is not a divisor of 24 means 5 does not divide the 24 exactly, because remainder we are getting there 4. In the previous class we already discussed about that thing. So once again we are going to take that some multiples of some numbers. Just you observe that. So our concept is not the multiple and factors. You should know that. Let us suppose I want to take this one. 36 can be written in the form of 2 into 18. And another way, 6 into 6 and 4 into 9. Another way we can write 1 into 36 is also possible. So 36 may be written in the form of all these patterns. These all patterns, whatever we are going to discuss in the multiplication tables. So 36 is a multiple of 2, 18, also 6, also 4 and 9, and every number is multiple itself. So 1 into 36 we can write. So all these are called factors of 36. Therefore, we can write that factors of 36 is equal to, we got 1, 2 and 6, 4, 6, 9, 36 also. And you can write this one 3 into another number also we can write 3 12s. That means we can add 3 and 12 also. So these are the factors of 36. So 36 may be expressed in the form of many other numbers in the product wise. So these are called factors. And vice versa, we can say that 36 is a multiple of 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 36, 3 and 12 also. So you can conclude that factors and multiple, what is the multiple meaning? What is the meaning of factor? Factor must divide the given number without any remainder. That means remainder is 0. Multiple is the product of two other numbers. The product of two other numbers. They are called multiples. That nothing but you wrote 7 multiples, 6 multiples, 8 multiples like that. So children, I want to clear that what is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic now. So we are going to take any number. That number must be expressed as a product of other two numbers. The number can be expressed as the product of any number can be expressed as a product of two other numbers. Two or more, we can say. Two or more other numbers. Product of two or more other numbers. That numbers are called composite numbers. Composite numbers. So what we are going to idea about the composite number is nothing but that number may be expressed as two or more products. Let us suppose I want to take 25. 25 can be written as 5 into 5. And also we can write this is 1 into 5. This is only two ways or two or more ways. We can say that. But another numbers also we can take. We can write every number. Every number can be expressed as the product of two or more. So what we are going to conclude that what fundamental theorem says as every composite number, whatever you are going to take that composite number means what we are going to conclude that it has two or more factors. At least two factors must exist. At least two factors, one and itself and other one. So any number can be expressed as two or more other numbers factors. Two or more other numbers as a factors. We can say that as factors. That numbers are called composite numbers. So children, every number can be expressed as in the form of the product of two or more numbers. That numbers are called composite numbers. So we are going to see that if any number can be expressed in the form of a product of two or more, then it is nothing but a composite number. The fundamental theorem of arithmetic, what it says that we are going to discuss now. So what fundamental theorem says is, once I want to repeat that, every composite number can be expressed as expressed as prime factorization. That must be a unique. This statement gives us fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Children, once you see that every composite number can be expressed as a product of prime factorization, that must be a unique. So once again we are going to repeat that every composite number can be expressed as a product of prime factorization that must be unique. This statement is called fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now we are going to discuss some examples. I want to take that 2 or more. 66 we can say in your textbook examples. 66. We are going to divide this one the prime factorization. What is the meaning of primes? They does not have any other factors except 1 and itself. That is called prime number. Prime numbers and composite numbers. A number having 1 and itself or factors, that numbers are called prime numbers, and more than two factors are called composite numbers. So fundamental theorem of arithmetic says that about the relation between composite numbers and prime numbers. This is the concept. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic is a relation between composite number and prime numbers. How we are going to express these two? So 66 we can write in the form of just by division method. You can take 2 table, 2 3s are 2 3s are. Next one we can take that 11. That is 11 3s are 33. So 66 can be expressed as 2 into 3 into 11. 2 into 3 into 11. So 2 3 are 6. 6 into 11 66. So this 66 is called composite number. This composite number can be expressed as the product of primes, that is 2 into 3 into 11. So what it says that fundamental theorem of arithmetic, generally it is says that every composite number can be expressed as a product of other prime products as being a product of prime factorization, which should be unique. So 66 can be expressed as 2 into 3 into 11 only. There is no another way. Which are primes? These 2, 3 and 11 are primes. This is the method, children. So you can practice from your textbook. You have another numbers like 1771 and 5313. Many are there. You can practice from your textbook. You have already given in the text. So now we are going to discuss about the prime factorization. By using this prime factorization, we can conclude that what is the next applications of this fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So this fundamental theorem of arithmetic gives us applications to find other numbers. That is nothing but you have one more. How to find out unit digit in the given. How to find unit digit, or we can say that end digit. How to find unit digit or end digit of the given number, This is also there in your 1.2. That is nothing but, let us suppose we are going to take 4 power 23. 4 power 23. What is the end digit in this number? Let us suppose, this is example. This is example. How to find out? Generally we are going to write here 4 power 1 is 4, 4 power 2 is 16, 4 power 3 is how much? Calculate. How much that is? How much? 64. Again, you can take another number. 4 power 4. 4 4s are 16. 256. Is it right? How much that is? 64 into, again you can multiply with 4. 4 4s are 16. 1. 4 6 are 24. 25. 256. 256. Again 4 power 5. Into 4 you can take 6 4s are 24, 2, 6 5s are 20, 22, 5 8, 8 plus 2, 10, 1024. So your number should always ends with 4 6, 4 6, 4 6 all ends. Is it right? Now 4 power 2, how much you are going to raise? The end digit always 6. 4 power 3 means this is nothing but, you can write this one, or this again 6. Again see, this is odd, this is even, this is odd, this is even. So for odd we are getting end digit is 6, for even you are getting end digit is 4. So we are going to write this in the form of 2 multiples. 4 power 2n plus 1, this is in the form. Because 23 will be divided by 2, how much you are getting? 23 divided by 2. 2 1s are 2, 3 will be there, 2 1s are 2, 1 will be the remainder. This is in the form of 2 into 11 plus 1, that is in the form of odd form. Odd form means what is the even digit now? 4. So we can conclude that the unit digit of 4 power 23 is 4 power 23 unit digit is 4. If it is even number, directly you can keep 6. Let us suppose we will discuss another example here. Once you note down this. Children, we can take another number, 4 power 26. Is it an odd number or even number? It is an even. Even means what is the unit digit here? Directly we can say that unit digit is 6. So similarly we can say that 4 power 2n or 4 power n, whatever it may be, 4 power 2n is also unit digit is, what is unit digit? 6. 4 power n, where n belongs to even. If it is even number, the end digit is, unit digit is equal to 6. If n is odd, what is your unit digit? 4. You can think like this. The raising of any number you are getting, this 4 power, and your general exercise you have already in 2.1 or 1.2. Once you check out what is the end digit of the given number. When is a natural number, check whether it is a end digit is 0 or anything other numbers. It doesn't end any zeros. It ends with only 4 and 6. This is your example 3 is given once you check in the textbook. So sometimes you may ask the question in 1 or 2 marks. 4 power odd, 4 power even. 4 power even is end digit is 6, 4 power end digit is 4. That is odd and even concept. Okay. Now in your regular, one more question is given in the text, that is 6 power n, that is in your 1.2 exercise. What is the last digit of 6 power 100? Question is, what is the last digit of, what is the last digit of 6 power 100? This is the question. Are you clear? Now we are going to discuss in simple manner. What is 6 power 1? 6. 6 power 2? 36. 6 power 3? 36 into 3. How much? 6 6 is 36. 3 6 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 21. 216. 6 power 4. Again you can multiply with 4. Sorry, 6. 6 6 is 36. 3 6 1 is 6 plus 3 9. 6 2 is 12. 1296. 1296. So what do you observe that? Here is a 6 unit digit. In the expansion of 6 square is also unit digit 6. 6 power 3 is also unit digit 6. 6 power 4. So on. Any number you can take. 6 power n. N is any natural number. End digit or unit digit. End digit or unit digit is always 6. Always 6. So this is one of the concept is given in the regular text. You can get the sometimes for examination. Any number is given. The raised power is 100 or any another number. We are going to conclude like your previous example, that is 4 power something, and here it is a 6 power 100. So the end digit of what is our answer now? Our answer is 6 power 10, 100 or 10 or any another number. End digit, that is last digit. Last digit is equal to 6. This is your answer. Children, you may try like this. Another examples from your regular. You can take your own examples also. You will get the answer easy manner. So just observe the patterns. What you are getting here. 6 power 1, 6 power 2, 6 power 3, 6 power 4, 6 power 5. Whatever you can take. It must be in the form of what pattern you are getting in the last digit or end digit. You will get the sometimes in the objective questions in 10th class. That is in your 1.2 exercise is there. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the next topic is by using this fundamental theorem of arithmetic, prime factorization method, how we are going to find out HCF and LCM. It's not only that method, we can give in simplest manner also once you check out.